All right, so you've picked your focus for your long run. Now what do you need to do in order to learn some lessons from that long run and apply them to your future training and your races?
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go.
Hi, welcome back. It's Adrian the Mountain Man. As you can see, it's dark. It's about 6 in the morning on Saturday, the 24th September. I've got Midstate Massive in 2 weeks, so I wanted to get out here and do a little bit of nighttime running before the race, just to make sure the headlamp still works. And I'm doing some single track, so that'll kind of mimic the race. But I wanted to get out here and give this a shot. So I've got 30 today. I'll do 20 tomorrow, probably on the treadmill, and then pretty much shut it down. Next week I'll probably do between 20 and 40 miles, and then the week after that for the race. So I'll take you guys along and we'll see how it goes. All right, see you soon. All right, I don't know if you can see me, probably a little grainy, but 3 miles in, about 37 minutes. I just came off a little spur because I was hoping to catch the sunrise. It's not up yet, so I'm gonna keep going for a couple more miles, and hopefully there'll be a point where I can get down on the water, maybe get the drone up to watch the sunrise. All right, I'll keep going. I'll check in with you guys later. Thanks. All right, guys, it's definitely time for the drone. The sun's coming up. It looks so beautiful over the water. So I'm gonna take the drone out for a minute and try and catch that coming up over the trees there. I don't know if you can see, there's some cranes. There's cranes flying all over the place. It's so nice. All right, so I'm gonna get that, and I will check in with you on my way out back onto the run of about 3.5 miles now, so about 46 minutes. So we'll do this, and I'll check in soon. All right. All right, we're back at our traditional water bottle refill station. Today's topic is going to be how to learn from your training runs. But before I get into that, I wanted to remind everybody that I'm a race ambassador for the Highball, the Thurman Ultra and Relay, and it's a 50 miler, a 55K, and a 50-mile relay. It takes place in West Virginia. I have a discount code for 10% off, and that's Mount Tin Man 10, all one word, like the spelling of my channel, Tin Man, Mount Tin Man. So I just want to remind you about that. We'll have some more information about that race coming up, but I just wanted to mention that before I got into today's topic.
Okay, today I wanted to talk about how to learn from your training runs, especially your long training runs. So I'll talk about what you need to do to get ready when you're getting ready, like either just in the morning or, you know, as your weekend long runs coming up, things you need to do, what you need to keep in mind during your long run, just being aware of issues you have come up, and then also what you need to do afterwards in order to keep those things in mind for your next training run and for your race. All right, I'll see you in a second. Okay, so the first thing you need to do if you want to start learning from your ultra training and applying that to your race is you need to look ahead to your longer training runs and pick a focus. That can be, in the beginning, can just be, you know, can I run 2 hours? That's, you know, obviously an important part of being able to complete an ultra is being able to run for a long time, but do a couple of those, but then you need to move on and focus on some other things. I feel like a lot of people are just like focused on, am I in shape? Can I get in shape? And there's a lot, especially the longer the ultra, the more prepared in other areas you want to be. So say next you would move on to nutrition and hydration. I'm always saying in my videos that I'm not drinking enough water. So that's a good thing to focus on next. Making sure you're drinking enough. Maybe you have Tailwind, maybe you have Goose or Spring Energy gels or whatever you use. But what I would do is every time you move to the next step in like what you want to learn on, your next focus is do the first 1 or 2 runs in a place you're comfortable running in. And that way you can focus on what you're trying to accomplish that day. For example, if you know you can run the 2 hours, you've got a course you've been doing that on, and then you want to focus on your nutrition and hydration. You don't want to worry about getting lost. You don't want to get out somewhere where the course is more technical or slower than you expected. You just want to be able to focus on what am I trying to learn today. And so once you do like nutrition and hydration, then you can start thinking about more race specific things, as far as I am going to be running on single track, or I'm going to be running on bridle trail, and then start dialing in your equipment. You know, which shoes are you going to wear? Like if you're on a bridle trail, you can probably get away with wearing maybe some clunkier shoes, maybe even some road shoes, and then if you're running some technical stuff. So, you know, move on to something where it's more race specific, and dial that in. You know, try different things. You know, if you've got several different pair of shoes, you know, try those and see how they go. See what you like the most. And then you always want to like keep building. So those are some things that you can do to prepare, to look forward and set a focus. Obviously you're going to learn things that are outside of what your focus is. You know, if you're focusing on shoes and equipment and you get 2 hours in and you decide, you know, you've got some stomach issues, and then you've just learned that you need to figure something out with your nutrition or your hydration to get that fixed. But go out there with the goal of learning something specific. All right, I will come back in a bit and talk about things you should do during the run. All right, see you then. Hi guys, I'm about 15.5 miles in, and I wanted to ask if you get any value out of the video, out of any of my tips I'm passing along. Could you please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel? I would really appreciate that.
It means a lot to me, and it's definitely very motivating. So with that, I'm about to head back, and I'll give you the last couple of tips. All right, see you then. All right, so you've picked your focus for your long run. Now what do you need to do in order to learn some lessons from that long run and apply them to your future training and your races? Well, first of all, you need to pay attention to that focus. Make sure that's the main thing you're thinking about during the run. But also you need to be very methodical about pretty much everything you do, especially surrounding your focus. Think of like trying to standardize everything. For example, the example of your nutrition and your hydration. I set a timer on my watch for every 30 minutes. It buzzes and it tells me to eat. I don't worry as much about hydration for myself because I'm somebody who tends to drink all the time when I'm running. So, but what that's going to allow you to do is decide if that nutrition product or that eating schedule is working for you. If you don't have a timer, say you're running with some friends, if you go out one weekend and you're kind of just chatting along, and you might take your first gel at 45 minutes, and then it might be another hour before you take your next one, and then you bonk. Sorry, the sun is so bright. You're not gonna know if that nutrition product is good for you, and most likely you're not gonna remember. Oh, it was 45 minutes when I took the first one, and then it was an hour 45 in when I took the second one, and then it was such and such the third one. Same goes the other way. You could be running with somebody who is popping a gel every 20 minutes, and that's your cue, and you start doing that. And then you get a stomachache, and because you weren't really paying attention, now you think that nutrition product might not be good for you, when really it's probably the frequency in which you were taking it and how much water you were taking in. That's really important. I've found is you really need to take in a lot of water when you're doing all this nutrition stuff, so your stomach doesn't get upset. So that's that kind of thing. Another example is I wear the same style and brand of sock pretty much on all my runs. You don't want to run with a thick sock on all your training runs, and then when the race comes you decide that you want to run in a thin sock, and then you get blisters, your shoes aren't fitting right, and that kind of thing. But the other reason to be methodical during your training runs is not only are you mentally learning stuff, but your body is picking up habits. For example, when you go for a run, put your gels like in the same spot. Put your extra tailwind in the same spot. Put your, if you're somebody who needs to reapply body glide a lot, put that in the same spot, because you're going to be tired during one of these races. You're going to come up to an aid station. You might be chatting with somebody. You might have been waiting for the water because you ran out, and you get there. You don't want to be hunting around like, oh, which pocket did I put my tailwind in, or oh, I need to eat. Where did I put my gel? So you want to be methodical that way as well, because you want that to become a habit. You want to, if you're doing like 100 or something, and it's in the middle of the night, and your buzzer goes off, you don't want to have to think about it. You just want to make sure you don't go off course. You just want to reach in that pocket. You want your body to know, gel in this pocket, take that out, take the gel, get your water, and stay focused on the course, on your pace, on your heart rate, things like that. So that's a separate but important way that you can learn, and your body can learn from your training runs.
one more quick example, and then I'll give you guys a break and we'll get to the last thing. We're gonna pop out in the sun here. For me, poles. I tend to take my poles out if I'm doing a lot of incline. And I have the lucky poles that I snap in and snap out. And so my body just knows, oh, there's a little incline, I'm slowing down. Click into the poles, use them up the hill. You get to the crest of the hill, take your hands out of there and start moving again. So those are important things that you can learn during your training runs. All right, I've got a few more miles, but I will give you the post-run tips for learning from your ultra training soon. All right, you've finished your training run, like I just have, and now you want to apply those lessons that you learned and carry them over to the next training run and into your race. So, most important thing to do is to take notes. That's either like a mental note, write it down. You know, you can leave yourself a voice memo through Siri or something like that. But you know, the most important thing is to not just, oh yeah, that didn't go well, next time I should do something else, and then not do it. So it's like you want to iterate every time. You want to remember what went wrong, kind of figure out why it went wrong. Like, you know, obviously going into it, you thought it was going to work, and if it didn't work, you got to figure out what happened. You know, and sometimes it's just it was 20 degrees hotter than I thought it was going to be, and that's why I didn't have enough water, or something like that. But that's a lesson. Okay, it might get 20 degrees hotter during your race than you thought it was going to be. What did you need to do during this training run to deal with that? You know, like for me, I always have that water filter, and I'm always bringing extra tailwind. I find myself bringing more and more tailwind every time, just because I don't want to run out of fuel. I don't want to run out of electrolytes and just bonk or like get a cramp, you know, 20 miles in or 25 miles into a 30-mile long run. So that's an important thing. You know, listen to your own advice, basically. You know, we always hear about, oh, what can I do to improve my running? And somebody might say something like, oh, get better sleep. And you're like, yeah, okay, whatever. And then don't do it. And then you just continue to have poor runs. So that's the most important thing is, you know, that cycle of looking ahead towards your run, figuring out what you want to learn, what you want to get out of that run, paying attention to what you're doing while you're running, and then look back at the run, take notes, and make changes for the next time. So I hope this is helpful. If it was, please like the video. Like I said before, subscribe to the channel. That'd be amazing. And I'm gonna keep trying to do things like this to help people out. I've been running forever, like 30 something years, but doing ultras pretty regularly for the last 2 years. So now I feel like I'm experienced enough in that, you know, and I've coached before, high school and college, but not at the ultra level. But now that I feel like I'm getting the hang of this and I've been doing it for a while, I want to pass that knowledge along. So, all right, I will see you guys next time. Thanks so much. Bye.